There we go. It's Donny Chan.
Get ready for the blind flips, right?
It's possibly Donny Chan.
Donny Chan by the things. Yeah, so for everyone just tuning in, this is Gavin Verhey. I'm joined here with Joey Pasco and everyone's favorite, Jerry Thompson. And we're watching round 2 of the Legacy Open. On the left of your screen, we have Luis Scott-Vargas, which looks like he's piloting counterbalance. And actually, we know he's piloting counterbalance. And on the right side, we've got Donny Chan, who's also piloting counterbalance. We've got the mirror match here at the Star City Games Open Series in San Jose. It's been a great weekend. Standard ended earlier with Adam Prozac victory with Rugg. Now we're on to the Legacy portion, round 2. Let's see how this goes down. Donny just mulliganed, so we'll see what happens. What's the key of this matchup, Jerry?
Other than counterbalance? We were talking about this last night because Josh wants to side out all of his swords in the mirror match and just be dead to a resolved Tarmogoyf, but you can't really do that because in games where no player has counterbalance, then Tarmogoyf is kind of the king. And if you both have a Goyf and they kill your Goyf, you're drawing pretty slim to theirs.
Yeah.
So step 1 is resolve counterbalance and be very careful about not letting them resolve theirs. Like after board, it gets a lot more interesting. Players are gonna have like Spell Pierce and Red Elemental Blast and a lot of cheap counter spells. So that won't be much of a problem after board, I think, and Corrosion Grip too, which is insane.
Reminds me kind of fairies, like
yeah,
first it was counterbalance.
Bitter Blossom, yeah, that's exactly what
exactly.
I was
It just sounded like substitute the word Bitter Blossom for counterbalance, and it's very similar. But no fairies here, all counterbalances.
And there's the namesake, right?
Well, does he have the force?
Well, it definitely looks like he has.
He does.
He's got a counterbalance of his own.
He ships the counterbalance.
Yeah.
I think he might have 2 then.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yes, he does.
Is that
A Swords, a Volcanic Island, and another counterbalance.
And Luis forces back. He's going to let his counterbalance stick.
And hopefully he brainstormed a 2 on top of his deck.
Oh, man.
Otherwise, this is going to be
a little
bad
rough.
times.
I mean, Luis is the kind of guy who'd plan that far ahead. Let's see what we got.
Yeah. Bing.
That is how you play this deck. You have to be so. This deck takes a lot of practice knowing how to set up your counterbalances. You have to think so many turns ahead.
Yep.
I hear LSV's a pretty good player.
He's okay, you know.
And there comes the Tarmogoyf, which, like you said, is the second best card. And we know he's got a way to get rid of it, but still.
Yeah, it looks like Luis is sitting on air, though, other than that Goyf.
Oh, and there goes that.
Yep.
Little blind flip. Oh,
what a master.
What a beating.
Yeah, like not only is your spell countered, but I'm going to have a top with the counterbalance.
Yeah, like I said, prepare for the blind counterbalance flip. They get you every time.
Nice. We
Now
got
you
a
just can't cast
and
any ones, right? Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That is pretty absurd. And here comes top, and he's going to respond. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, not quite.
I mean, that's not bad, though.
Yeah.
That's another win condition.
I don't think we're cracking that Scalding Tarn right now. And we'll just pass back. Is that Vidalian?
And
Brainstorm?
Yeah.
Force of Will.
Elspeth Force Will Brainstorm. Passes back, uses the top. And things are going to get ugly now. With that Tarmogoyf gone, with counterbalance, top, and Jace about to hit the battlefield, I'd imagine. Yep, there's Jace.
So we got the
He forces it.
force with the brainstorm.
So, probably going to spin this top here.
Thank you.
Here are the deck lists. Which,
Look at this guy. It's Donny Chan.
he printed it out?
Yeah,
What
I know that you can do this. You can do it ahead of time, actually.
Creatures NA.
Just not available.
Not available.
He actually just doesn't have any.
It's Donny
Is he
Chan.
in light tutoring, or?
Nope. Vidalcan Shackles.
D-E-N,
Okay.
like Denny,
Elspeth.
like the restaurant. On his deck
And
list.
predict. 4 predicts to get him.
So, Luis comes up short on this
Right
Force of
on,
Will.
yeah, whatever.
So I guess
D-Chan.
Chase isn't going to quite get there. Although, no, well, I guess he could try and Tarn.
If he had a 2-drop and a 3-drop on top, he would probably just let the Force of Will go. But since his top cards were just like 2 swords and a land, just not very good cards,
Yeah.
then he's going to try again.
So Luis is playing some Jace Balarans. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I had to fight with him last night about that card, and he had Grim Lavamancer in his deck for a while, too.
Wow. How about that? So Luis is certainly making some innovations there.
So no Jace, no Jace there. We get the
No Jace, but still counterbalance top.
Yeah.
Quite the thing. So his opponent isn't quite your typical counterbalance deck. He's got Vidalcan Shackles, Elspeth as his creatures, no Tarmogoyfs. I don't know if that's because maybe he couldn't find any, or just because he wanted to go a little bit different route. but otherwise it looks pretty similar. Luis also has a nifty one-main deck Vidalian Click, which is
Love the shackles, though, gotta say. Again, that's one of my favorite cards ever.
Oh, and here comes another Jace.
Double Jace.
And he tops to try and find an answer, and that looks like double Elspeth on top.
Yeah, double Planeswalker.
Oh, things are only going to get worse from here.
I don't know, it's possible that he could get back in this just by next turn cashing in his top and just playing an Elspeth and hoping that gets there.
So he has to crack.
He does crack, yeah.
Oh, cracking, but responding. Okay, yeah. He definitely needs to get that Elspeth.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Elspeth is definitely very important.
That's about the only way he's going to win this game, I think.
Yep. He can fight off that Jace, and it's unlikely Counterbalance is going to be able to hit it here.
Yeah. Luis only has one more 4-drop in his deck, I believe. No, he actually only has 2 Mind Sculptors, so that's all.
Because of the Jace Bolarians?
Yep.
Yeah, well there you go.
Yeah, I have 3 big Jace in my deck.
Seeing what options he has, if it's even worth cracking.
Are both players empty-handed, it looks like, right now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Playing off the top.
They are all in.
Playing off the top, literally.
Playing off the top.
Oh, yeah.
Except for
on LSV's side.
Except for LSV's got Jason since he's the binding top, so not quite.
Well.
All right, LSV just untaps, picks up his card.
So LSV's playing off the Sensei's divining top.
Huh.
Sorry, LSV puns. Just gotta.
You know, if he were here, he'd be doing the same.
I know. I figure I have to fill in for him.
Yeah.
What's the blue card he just drew?
I'm not sure. It looked like he drew a sword, so his Jace is going to live for another turn at least.
Are the player mics on? Remember we were talking about that last night? No idea. Or you don't know?
Are the player mics?
Yeah, okay. We're just wondering because we don't want to be talking over people. But anyway. Okay. Okay. What were you going to say?
I just saw Raptor hit someone when he tapped the Mishra's back for a mana and tried to attack the other one. He's like, that's the one you played this year.
Alright. So, yep. So, looks like we've got some Jace. Still pulling the head of the game. Still pulling the game ahead for Luis.
Yeah.
Oh, and he has the swords.
He's got to go for the pump there, even though.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious that Luis has something when he's brainstorming with Jace instead of just Fate Sealing to give him a turn.
Right.
Then he could brainstorm the next turn if he needed to.
Let's see. So. Still not a ton of action for Luis, but he doesn't really need it with the position he has right now.
Yeah.
Just needs to find an answer to that Elspeth, really. And cracks in the fetch, trying to find some action. And Tarmogoyf or Vidalian Click would both be pretty good here.
Agreed. Or maybe a Grim Lavamancer. But unfortunately, he cut those.
That sounds so spicy.
Yeah. Well, that was part of the thing too. He was like, "Well, it might be worse than Fire Spout, but if we play it and do well, we look like geniuses."
All right, that's fair. I mean, might as well, I guess.
Yeah, him and Raptor both just looked at each other and started laughing because they like knew it was true and definitely just agreed.
I mean, you can't minus if you don't try, I guess.
Yeah.
So Elspeth's gonna make another guy.
LSV with like twice as much land almost.
That's a predict and a fire spout. I wonder what that's predict is gonna name. Probably after counterbalance flips, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Although that doesn't work very well with top.
Jace Bellerin, get out of here.
Don't need that one.
Nope.
We want to protect our big Jace right now. So what answers does Luis have to Elspeth besides just a creature?
He just has to get a creature, and that's it.
He has does he have repeal or no? No.
No, he actually has one, I think.
Yeah, one repeal. Okay.
We're gonna fire spout away that token for right now.
Get out of here.
Buy another turn, another brainstorm.
Yep, one repeal. So he's got the misers. Other than that, not a lot of good options to deal with that Elspeth. Another token. Does the ultimate matter at all in this matchup? Is that a thing?
Oh, well, it could. If he gets it up to 9 in ultimates and starts making soldiers, then it might be difficult to win.
Although even then, you can still Jace bounce, and you have swords for your main removal spells. Obviously, you don't want to be swordsing like 1/1 soldiers.
Yeah, it depends how ahead he gets.
Yeah.
Because if he gets to a point where he has like 3 indestructible soldiers, it's going to be pretty difficult to get around that, actually.
Yeah. Just take that. So Luis is just trying to dig here. He's been cracking fetch line after fetch line, trying to find an answer. But nothing is coming. Let's see what we have here. Just another forced 2 lands.
One's the top, I think, but same difference, just another dead card for the most part.
Yep. Bounces the soldier
There it
token. And that's the point where Danny knows that he might have an out this game. Yep. Elspeth goes up to 9. Didn't we just see these 3 cards?
Maybe he wants to change his mind.
That's fair. Can't blame him. Oh yeah, I guess with top, like that makes sense, right? Like you want to keep ones on
extra
top.
tops isn't the worst.
There we go.
So we got a Tarmogoyf. Yeah, see, set it up perfectly where you can cash in his top this turn, bounce the soldier,
Play another
Tarmogoyf,
top.
play
Yeah,
top.
what a master, etc. There comes top. It's gonna predict in response.
Yeah, that was a minor mistake where he should have played the other top before cashing in here.
It's a little awkward.
Just rushing, I think. He knows that this type of match is likely to go long, so he
Yeah.
wants to close this game out as soon as possible.
Yeah, especially this game's gone way longer than I think it would have normally, just because Luis couldn't find a way to close.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
Now, Denny, you're trying to capitalize on that slight misplay
Yeah.
by chaining some card drawing.
That shows you how skill intensive Legacy is. Like this tiny, tiny mistake can,
Yeah.
open up a huge window.
His opponent got to see five new cards.
Yeah. And Tarmogoyf lands. But Elspeth can go
Gets a
ultimate next
thumbs up.
turn.
Players, a couple of people have been asking about the side events. We are now ready to
Not
take
that-
side
not that I
events
think he would
for
yet, but I guess he
all of
could.
our 8
Oh,
players
swords on there.
and 4-player events. So if you're interested in EDH or Commander, also
There's
any winner boxes,
another
standard,
top.
extended, or
He can go
legacy,
ultimate, but then he just
and
attacks
either
Elspeth.
competitive or
And then,
Yeah, that's not so good.
Nothing really happens.
Yeah, just make a token.
yeah, but even if he makes a token, he can still cash in Jace to bounce it and then knock Elspeth down.
Right.
He's just gonna make him do it. Yeah.
And so, despite some poor draws by LSV and a slight misplay, it still looks like he's ahead over Danny Chan here.
Yeah, for those of you just joining us, I'm Joey Pasco here with Gavin Verhey and Jerry Thompson at the Star City Games Open Series, the Legacy portion. We're here in round 2 watching LSV play a counterbalance mirror match versus Denny Chan.
And this game's already gone pretty long. I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure how much time they've taken up, but
Yeah,
they need to start wrap this game and try and see if they can finish it, because this match goes along,
be right back.
or it's a blowout, one of the two.
Yeah. I mean, this game was over almost from the get-go, but it took so long for Luis to find a threat, and
Yeah.
and Denny still kind of has out, so it's hard. Like,
Yeah.
at what point do you concede to try and save time, or do you just play to try and have Elspeth get there? Like, at this point, I think he knows the writing's on the wall, so maybe you just save time.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the counterbalance top, like, swords probably doesn't go anywhere, but you still have that glimmer of hope, like, well, maybe he doesn't have a 1 on top, or,
Yeah.
I mean, you have the top in play, obviously, but, like, maybe he'll misplay, or maybe I can draw another swords and respond to the top trigger. Like, there are all these, there's another top. Maybe not now. Brainstorm. Luis just,
Luis has the swords.
I think he just has everything. He's got swords, force. All those fetch lands finally paid off. And now he's fighting Elspeth, so he's just going to grind out further and further. How much time?
There's about 35 minutes left.
So this
Wait a minute, let me see.
this game's taking 15 minutes?
I was trying to get us a stopwatch, which is
Oh.
what we're getting.
Oh, just watch there. 35 minutes? Alright, so 15 minutes so far he's up in this game. And that's all 4 swords from Danny Chan.
That way we'll have an idea of the round timer, because of the way
I was going to just say we could time it on the computers, but
Yeah, I just was asking if they could tilt it, but they said we can get a stopwatch. They have one.
yeah, tilting in the timer doesn't really work. But anyway, back to the match.
Right.
We've got LSV slowly chugging away, gonna just grind out that Elspeth turn after turn. He has to keep making soldiers.
What is that? 11 counters on
11
the Elspeth.
countered Elspeth. Yep. And Danny's got access to 5 islands. How big is that Tarmogoyf if he draws Vidalcan Shackles? We have sorcery. Do we have sorcery? We've got instant
Yeah,
at
we
least.
definitely have
No
instants.
sorcery, I don't think.
No, probably no sorcery. Definitely instant land. The Tarmogoyf might not actually be that large. I guess top got predicted. but
So probably 4 or 5.
yeah, 4 or 5. Still pretty reasonable
Oh,
for a
counterbalance,
2-mana
5,
creature.
So still pretty big. Just
All
no
right.
sorcery.
It's not sorcery. Who plays those? Oh no,
Shut-
fire spouted. He fire spouted. So
Oh,
there
yeah,
is a
okay.
sorcery. Yeah, we're up. And Jace died too.
Did it?
No, Jace
Yeah,
died.
it got countered. Okay.
Yeah,
that
Jace
thing
died
is
too.
huge.
We're
It all adds up.
We're just missing artifact and tribal, right? So
No, the top's in there.
we're just missing tribal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Man, where's our tribal spell when we need one? All right, flip 3 cards.
You mean you didn't convince him to play Tarfire, Jerry?
No.
He didn't really look like a
If
genius.
anything, I would have convinced him not to play Starfire.
Yeah, fair enough. It's better than Lightning Bolt because it's tribal.
All right, so bounces that again. In comes Tarmogoyf. And Luis made a play there that I don't think a lot of people would have thought about, but he made sure to Fate Seal up the Jace so that he could go
Start
bouncing the tokens and slowly kill that Elspeth. So now he's played the slow game of okay, bounce a token, attack, go up to Fate Seal, attack, you're gonna block, bounce your token again. It's gonna take a while. Okay, and yeah, Danny finally sees the writing on the wall. He just packs in to save time. Let's see.
I don't know, because if Danny was anything like Alex Bertoncini yesterday, he would have stayed in the game all the way until there was a minute and 11 seconds left.
In this matchup,
I don't know that that was
Well, Alex ended up winning that game,
Yeah,
right?
he
right,
did.
right. That's
He
the thing.
did. So
He came into the booth and several times was like, I was going to concede, but I just kept in it for like no real good reason, and then like he's ripped to win the game.
Yeah.
So, let's see. So what are we sideboarding in here? Probably get some Rebs. Soar's good in this matchup. Yes, Luis. So Rebs or.
Well, Luis didn't see any green mana, and his opponent had been fetching, so he probably knows that he doesn't have Tarmogoyf.
Okay.
So Soar's not that good. Red Elemental Blast, definitely. Corrosive Grip.
Oh.
Maybe 1 or 2 Pithing Needles to stop Elspeth.
Yeah. Yeah, Elspeth seems like a big problem there.
And then a
I
Spell Pierce.
mean, the fire spouts definitely go out, and so that's at least 3 slots you get.
Oh, I forgot that he's playing a main deck Pyroblast.
Wow. What a miser.
I suggested that last night,
You gotta-
and they just ran with it.
You gotta look like a genius, right?
Yeah.
What do we got here? We've got some blasts. Maybe the Path to Exile. Engineer Explosives is good. Medallion Flick is good. I don't know. It's pretty typical. Well, not quite typical, but some of the normal cards you'll see in Legacy. The interesting thing about Danny Chan's deck, once again, is he only has no creatures. He's just relying on Penelope Shackles and Elspeth to get the job done. And Luis doesn't know it, but Danny has the Shackles, which can also be Pithing Needled out of the sideboard.
okay, so we got the other feature match
So
result.
Philip Yam, PM, beats Rob Lloyd in one of our other feature matches. And there should be text coverage on that coming soon.
That's a 2-0 win.
As Luis would say, Rob Lloyd got yambushed.
Nice.
Fair.
The yambushing is an actual thing.
I would believe it. I've heard PM's name several times before. Is he a California local?
Yes. He's done well in a couple Legacy Grand Prix. I think he top 16 or top 16 to top 32 with Goblins
Oh,
a couple
wow.
times. Not sure if he's playing today, but
Yeah. Did he play yesterday?
yes, he was playing Blue White Control. Typically an aggro player.
Oh, interesting.
But, yeah,
Picked up the islands for that event.
the Squadron Hawks. They were calling him. Calling him. Yes.
Quite the deck. So after sideboarding, what's the key here? So you said game 1, counterbalance is like very important, and then after that, Tarmogoyf is like a very big card. And as we saw in that match, after sideboarding, the war changes. You've got Corrosive Grip, you've got Red Elemental Blast and Pyroblast. Like, what changes and what's important now?
Yeah, like game 1 was a perfect example of how the game goes. You know, like Luis set up with an end of turn brainstorm, which is kind of sketchy. You know, like a lot of people his caliber won't just blow a brainstorm so
Right.
early. So it was very clear that he had a plan in mind. Set up counterbalance his opponents, you know, and that's what you need to do. But post-board, it's like, you can do that, you can do all that work, but then you just run headfirst into a Pyroblast or a Spell
Right.
Pierce, Corrosive Grip, like they have all these answers. And it's even to the point where I think Luis is going to side out Force Will,
Wow.
just so he doesn't 2-for-1 himself, because there are so many answers to your opponent's cards that it really doesn't matter that much.
Right, so you just 2-for-1 yourself, and you're like, okay, tap 1, counter your forest. And
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just have a 1-mana counter spell. Luis's hand looks pretty land heavy here.
Land
I see a
heavy,
Pyroblast.
Pyro and a top. That's probably a
Yeah,
good
and
key.
you got a top, and you got a fetch line to make it all work.
Yep, looks like they both kept.
Yeah, so they kept and they're off to the races. Yeah, no, I think that makes total sense with the Pyroblast, and you can't like go all in on your counterbalances now. You can't be like counterbalance, defend,
Exactly.
because it's just not as important. Could you
Is that a Core Haven? Does Danny have a Core Haven in his deck?
Yes, there's
Yeah.
one Core Haven. That is Maze of Ith Light that makes white
Yeah.
mana, correct?
It doesn't make white. It taps for colorless.
Oh, it really taps are colorless?
Yeah.
Okay. And it costs white 1 to Maze of Ith something?
Correct.
Cute. I guess, does it enter the battlefield tapped also?
No.
Alright, it's from Mask's block, so I just assume all the lands there enter the battlefield tapped.
I mean, the format was slow. I think the lands came into play untapped, though.
No, there's like all peat bog and like all those
Oh,
lands.
sure.
Like
2-mana ones.
2-mana ones.
So Luis showing a lot of restraint here, not playing top turn 1, holding up red elemental blast. Turn 2, playing top.
Oh, he's gonna crack and respond. Yeah, going back to the end of turn brainstorm, a lot of players are like, oh, okay, brainstorm, like end step brainstorm. But it's been talked about before, end step brainstorm is actually just one of the worst plays in Legacy. People do it all the time for absolutely no reason. Like in their combo decks, they'll be like, oh yeah, brainstorm on your turn when I miss my land drop, right? Doesn't make any sense at all.
Just untap, wait a turn, you see an extra card.
Right.
Especially if it's something so serious as you're missing your land drops. You know, you want to dig as deep as possible so that you don't brainstorm, you have to put 2 back, and then you're stuck for 2 more turns.
Yeah, exactly. And so, what Luis did there was just masterfully end of step brainstorm and then set up the counterbalance perfectly.
Exactly.
And his opponent had to go for it there.
Oh.
All right, so let's see. We have counterbalance, fight over counterbalance, and the Reb gets forced.
Looks like Danny's got a couple Force of Wills, too.
I don't think he's got another blue card. Yeah, he just has explosives.
I think he has another one on top.
Ah.
So now Luis is probably going to go for his own counterbalance. Oh, Vendilion Click.
Vendilion Click.
Interesting.
Oh, flips the click. That's a dagger.
Yeah, maybe he thought it was very likely that his opponent had a 2 on top.
Right, because
So
just
you want to
leveled
go
him.
for the 3.
He just got leveled.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
By the way,
Whether
just
or not
got
it was
word
on
that
purpose.
Chapin dropped after 1-0. Apparently something came up. He didn't have time to play all day, so he dropped.
Yeah.
So
He wanted to get his point.
is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
he
was
built an
surprised.
affinity deck.
But wow, I guess that makes sense.
Gave someone a match lesson in round 1.
Right.
And then dropped. Well, you need the point, and the rating could matter for him, so there you go. Man, so yeah, that was actually a really good play by Danny Chan, stacking it. So LC went for the Vendilion Click. I don't know if it was intentional or not. I don't know if he was playing around click, but
Well, his options were Force of Will or Brainstorm. And it seems like there's no 5-drop you can play with only 3 lands. You have top to counters 1-drops. So it just ended up working out perfectly for him.
yep.
It would have been interesting if he had a 3 and a 2, which one he would have left on top.
Right. Probably the 2, but it's hard to say for sure. All right, so the Tarmogoyf comes in. He's gonna.
He's going to top in response, but it looks like he's missing.
I think that's Jace, Vendilion Click, Blast.
Correct.
Yep. So I mean, Jace is still going to be an issue, but
Assuming he has another land, which I'm not sure he does.
yeah, that is also an issue. And Jace also just doesn't seem as good after sideboarding. You have, Reb and Pyroblast. Like, I mean, it's still fine,
The
but
Planeswalkers are the one thing that you can't really stop with a whole lot of other things. So, like, Force of Will is kind of good in that regard. But you still have Pithing Needle, and, like you said, for Jace, you have Red Elemental Blast.
can you retweet this?
Alright, so Luis is trying to
Yeah.
force through a bunch of
Let me see what
2-drops.
this is.
And Danny's going to get to stop this counterbalance with a Pyro. So we're basically all in on Tarmogoyf at this point against counterbalance top.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, the counterbalance or the Tarmogoyf stuck. So, I mean, you said earlier there was the argument about should you take out your swords or not. And if Danny took out his swords or pads, then that might give Luis the window he needs with that Tarmogoyf.
Yep.
Otherwise, if he just finds one, it's going to be a big issue.
Ooh, we have little Jace coming down, it looks like.
But maybe not, because he still thinks Vendilion Click's probably on top, right? Or do you just have to go for it here?
Does he still have it on top?
Well, I don't know if he does or not, but I think that he hasn't cast it yet.
Yeah, he still has it. Okay.
So,
So yeah, maybe he waits. Maybe he's just topping again to see what's going on.
yeah. Try and find... Like, he knows a 2 isn't available, so maybe he's just going to try and dig another Tarmogoyf or something,
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm going to be beat down this game. That's my plan. Oh, and he goes for it, little Jace. And that's going to get countered. So that's the Core Haven right there.
That is Corda.
Nice.
Yeah, that's an answer to Tarmogoyf right there.
Oh no, things are Looking bad for LSV this game. And the Core Haven's a land also, so we can go untap Jace, bouncer Tarmogoyf, then untap, play his Core Haven, have an active Jace, and a way to deal with the Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
It's going to take some serious footwork from LSV to do it, but then again, LSV's a guy who can pull off that footwork. So.
I agree, but it's very possible just because of time constraints. Like, he might actually just concede once he sees, like, this Core Haven or maybe the Jace next turn.
Yeah, and here's the Jace.
So that's the Elspeth.
Oh, he's going for Elspeth. Yeah, I guess you don't want to crack your top there. So he did leave himself vulnerable to a spell potentially because he can't top right now, so he can only counter a 3 from Verdelian Click or a 1 from top. They still open on 2, although I think Luis kind of already knew that.
Yeah. So I don't think there's really any danger of him just tapping out for that Elspeth.
I mean, I think tapping out for Elspeth is definitely the correct play there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also just another answer to Tarmogoyf. How big is that Goyf? We've got instants and planeswalkers. Do we not have any lands yet? I think we've got a land somewhere, right? In Luis's graveyard?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had Scalding Tarn. So that's a 3-power Goyf. Not enough to kill that Elspeth if you were to deal with the token. Alright, so he passes back with a full boat of lands untapped. He's going to top. Pithing Needle's there too. Figuring out what he wants. What do I want? Oh, he can't cast that Vendilion Click, right? Why did he tap his Tundra instead of his Plains to activate that top?
No
Could be
idea.
anything. Maybe he just wants the Core Haven here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he just doesn't. Or, you know, actually, I could see the value. He's like, I didn't draw the Vendilion Click, right? He's like, oh, well, why would he not leave blue untapped? Like, if he could cast that Vendilion Click. So, you know, he can kind of bluff having a 3 on top.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. That's actually a really good play. If that was indeed his intention. Hey, Kibler, step in the booth.
Brian Kibler back again.
I see Elspeth.
That is true.
Kibler sees his lady love, I guess, right?
Did you win your round, Kibler?
I did. I defeated another combo deck. Made him discard some cards, back up with creatures. Actually, it was the High Tide Time Spiral Emrakul deck, and he was actually 1 mana away at one point from just casting High Tide, Cloud of Fairies, Echoing Truth, Cloud of Fairies, Emrakul.
Oh, wow. 1 off, huh?
It was actually sort of funny that
Game of
I'd
inches.
actually boarded in, because I just have so many bad cards against him, like, you know, Maelstrom Pulse is terrible, Plows are terrible. I actually boarded in a Diabolic Edict just to, like, possibly, like, you know,
Just get him.
Get you. But he would have had the Cloud of Fairies to stack. It would have ruined it. The whole plan.
So you just had to beat him ahead of time,
I
right?
do have a Krakus, yes.
So LSV's casting that repeal. The Miser's repeal here.
Repealing Elspeth? How rude.
And I don't think there's a... I guess it'd have to have 5 to counter that, right? Yep, and Elspeth just goes back. LSV's trying to play to his outs here, but they're running low on time.
And Elsie's up a game?
No.
LSV's up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
LSV's up a
LSV's
game. Right.
up a game, correct. And I think LSV probably has the edge in game 3, but... Alright, and now he chooses to click him.
There is Vendilion Click.
And that's a Tarmogoyf in LSV's hand?
Going for a Flooded Strand.
Yep. So, alright. So, does not want that Vendilion Click to resolve and take his Goyf, but...
I don't know that he
Double
has
card.
Big cheats. Alright, so that Goyf gets in there. He throws that Vendilion Click to the side. And let's see if LSU feels gutsy enough to jam that Tarmogoyf in there. He's thinking about it.
With Elspeth coming down next turn, it seems like he has to.
I mean, I feel like he definitely has to, but he's gonna take the opportunity to see 3 new cards with top first, which is fair, I suppose. Let's see what we got. That's a Reb. Is that Reb Jace?
Reb counterspell Tarmogoyf.
Reb counterspell Tarmogoyf.
So that could be really good. He could, if Danny still doesn't have a 2-drop, he can play Tarmogoyf and then counterspell whatever his follow-up is, and then probably kill him on the swing back, because we do have like Planeswalker enchantments, instant land.
Lands, yeah.
Of course, the danger of the second Tarmogoyf is what he doesn't know is Danny Chan has Engineer Explosives in his hand,
Right,
which he can set for 2 next turn.
Even that's fine, because it would kill his own counterbalance.
Right, it would kill his counterbalance, correct.
And he still has a counterspell, so.
Right. And he said there was another Tarmogoyf on top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so even then he's got the third Tarmogoyf to back it all up if he chooses to lay one here. But now he's trying to figure out what's the play. What do we want to do? Alright, so rub the counterbalance.
Yeah, this is kind of a strange play.
So he used the Reb to bait out the counterbalance flip to see if
what was on top,
if the Goyf
yeah.
would resolve or not.
Like, I guess if he has a 2 on top, Luis is just kind of dead.
Engineered Explosives.
There's explosives and he just passes back. Luis is going to serve. And, yep, things are exploding.
He engineered that way.
And there's Tarmogoyf.
Yeah. It seems like he didn't have a 2 on top for so long that if he just played Tarmogoyf to kind of bait and see what was going on and then had counterspell on top, then he just wins the game on the spot if he doesn't have a 2.
Right. But Elsie wanted to be careful, I guess.
Yeah, well, this way he still has to fight through Elspeth, but if his opponent gets to play Elspeth and then Corehaven, like on tap with Corehaven in play, like he's still in a tight spot. So.
Oh, except there's
LSG,
Jace knocking down the Elspeth.
That was actually, I was actually just thinking that if you look at Danny Chan's hand, he has a Jace of his own in his hand. He could have played Jace and bounced Tarmogoyf, which I think may have been a better play. It ends up, Luis has no board pressure at all, and Luis could theoretically red blast Jace, but he then he just gets to play Tarmogoyf next turn, or he gets to play the Elspeth next turn. So he's in a better position playing the Jace first. I'm pretty sure. The Jace bounces, then next turn he has Jace in play and Elspeth, or if Jace dies, he still has the Elspeth.
I believe he just pithing needled Jace.
Pithing needle Jace,
looks like
and then
he topped away his own Jace.
And then he core haven that Tarmogoyf to keep it under. LSV kind of looked across the table to see what was going on.
She had to make sure. He didn't know. I think he didn't know if it like phased out or anything like that.
So, alright, so core haven, Tarmogoyf. And let's crack on some fetch lands now. We're going to shuffle those cards away and see some new ones.
See, it's always tough. Like, any player could still win this game, and it's like you have to kind of keep playing. It's still such a grind,
right.
But
and then it's like when do I concede and when do I not? Like, and like you can't concede, but at the same time you're running low on time. And that was an awful top for Danny Chan there. Does land. And passes back. How'd yesterday go for you, Jerry? We had you in a feature match early, and then didn't really see you anymore.
That was kind of awkward, man. Got crushed in my feature match, and got crushed a few more times. still won a few matches, finished in the top 32, so not bad. Got 3 points, I think.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So up to maybe 10 now.
And counterspell takes it up there on that Vidalian click. Adam, are you 0-2? Yeah. So Adam Prozac, Star City Games Open Standard Champion, 0-2 in Legacy. He came here to play Legacy.
I won more matches on Standard today.
He won more matches on Standard today. He came here to play in the Legacy. Was like, I'll play some Standard. Why not? Switched to the rug at more or less last minute. Won this tournament. 0-2 dropped the Legacy. Standard operating procedure.
Yep, agreed. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy,
I mean, yeah, of course.
Used up all his run good,
Yeah, I mean, like we were talking to him earlier, and he's like, well, rather use all my run good on one tournament than split them between both, right?
Yes,
like,
agreed.
You only get so much for 6 and 2ing twice.
Yeah, I'd rather win one tournament once a year than top 32 them all, or top 64 them all.
Right. All right, Spell Snare takes down that Predict. Predict is such an interesting card. you think it's actually good, Jerry?
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic card. The problem is, all these decks have so many cards that they need already, and they don't necessarily need a hard counter or a hard card draw.
Right.
Like Tarmogoyf is basically moat. Shuts down 3 or 4 of their guys all at once. Counterbalance counters the majority of their spells. And even now, like something like Jace, I mean, that's a hard card drawer too. So there's no room.
But I guess that's why he doesn't have any Tarmogoyfs. Got him for predicts. Got to draw some cards.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, killing them is kind of like drawing cards.
Drawing cards away from their life.
Yeah. Well, it's like either one you can use to kill your opponent, and Tarmogoyf just has more value in this format because there's so many tribal decks.
I mean, it really is like an inherent implied card advantage because you play it, they just can't attack you anymore, and it's like, well, I just traded 1 card for 3 of your cards, right?
Yep.
So.
Oh dear. We have a grip for that needle.
Oh, nice.
Start chasing things.
He gets that top back.
Play top.
There
and
it is.
Spell Pierce on top.
All right. And look at how this game has shifted. At one point, it looked like Danny was pretty firmly in control, and
Oh, there's Danny's Jace. So
Don't tap that Core Haven. Oh. Uh-oh.
I think we tapped that Core Haven. Oh, but he's cracking his Arid Mesa, so maybe he's got another card he wants to cast. Do we know what the last card in his hand is?
Not sure. Elspeth. Okay, that makes sense. Pierce.
Ouch. Elspeth down. Tarmogoyf's going to crack in this turn. Deal a bunch of damage. We'll have Core Haven for next turn, but is that a counterbalance too?
I saw Force of Will.
I saw Force also. Probably wasn't a counterbalance.
how big is that Goyf?
It's either a 5 or a 6. They're counting right now.
It's like nothing but.
I think it's a 6.
Yeah, it might be everything but tribal. What you looking for?
This is tough too. They're already kind of low on time. Now they have to sit there and try and count for
For
Tarmogoyf.
Tarmogoyf. That's actually the thing I hate most about Tarmogoyf. Every time it gets played is, all right, let's counter graveyards. Like, 3 turns later, everything dies. Let's counter graveyards. But at the same time, I don't want to put a dice on my Tarmogoyf because that's just the worst, right?
Yeah.
Like, more people have lost innocent creatures and dices on Tarmogoyfs than in like any other accident. It's the leading cause of like accidental deaths, you know? Can't stand that.
We need a wasteland. Oh, what do we draw?
Crossing grab for a top.
Okay.
No responded to that one, my friend. And he's gonna predict to get rid of
no.
Luis's top. Oh,
Alright,
we got
that.
the force.
Oh, hard cast.
All right, playing off the top. Got a deck there. So now both of them, you know, he's got a top, I guess. So Luis is way ahead. So that Core Haven's gonna be an issue, but he just passes back, draws a red, tops again.
Would Ryan Gores please come
That's another Force of Will.
James
Got some more
Gores,
counter
please
spells.
come to the main event stage. James
Core
Gores
Haven.
to the main event stage, please.
And Core Haven is a card I haven't seen played in a long time.
Yeah, for real. It's really good here.
It's not one
Yeah,
I knew.
I mean
but-
it's a Maze of It that taps for mana. It seems
Right.
acceptable.
There's
Counters that Brainstorm. Serves in, gets Core Haven. Oh.
That's swords.
There we go. But he has the
Got
force,
that
right?
force, yep.
You gotta force it.
it's gonna.
There's another force.
No.
So Luis did keep it in his Force of Wills, and they actually are looking pretty good here. Just because he's hard
Yeah,
countering.
5 mana counter spells. I guess if you're gonna have an attrition battle and you think if the game's gonna go long, as it has been, it's good. I think there are definitely games where one player will just get the advantage early, but after sideboarded, it could just be a lot of attrition. All right, so now we've got a counterbalance on both
Counterbalance
players.
war right here.
And Luis has to kind of hope. Oh, nope, he just forces it.
Yeah, you have to force that because if he has a 1 to counter your top
Right.
just randomly, then you're
Especially
kind of in
if it's a
trouble.
top. Like, that's really
Right,
bad.
then we're back in the situation that we were in when we started the game.
like
where-
20 minutes ago, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
What's in Danny's hand? Anybody know?
I think just a land potentially.
Okay.
It might be a red, unless he hasn't used it yet. Just pass it back. Luis has stopped attacking with the Tarmogoyf to save time.
Counterbalance and a brainstorm.
EDH number 1, come on up to the main event stage. If you signed up for EDH today, come on up to the main event stage. We're going to get you started.
That's another force.
Oh my god.
So many hard cast forces.
He's got like 8 forces in his
deck?
deck?
He's got some 5-mana counters. There's a Jace. I'm sure he's going to run it. And it's just going to walk right into force as well.
Even Luis is looking through, like, how many forces have I seen already?
There's a force on top, right? So it just gets counterbalanced. No. Oh no, sorry. It's a 5 and 4. Yeah. Alright, draw, force it. It's back, here comes the force. And Danny hesitantly and frustratedly puts that Jace into the graveyard.
Yeah, he probably should have tried play some
Brainstorming.
spells, like, or play that counterbalance.
Yeah, and see if Luis just would have ran that force.
Yeah. Although I know that Academy Ruins is one of his outs, you know, so he doesn't necessarily want to run that counterbalance out when it doesn't really do anything. Like, occasionally you can blind flip, counter one of the spells, but maybe he's just drawing to explosives or Academy Ruins.
And I mean, sure predict there, but now that top counterbalance is up, it's going to be tricky.
Yeah.
For Danny Chan here. I don't know how much time is left, but we can't be that much.
No, the stopwatch, I didn't start it. I'm going to check, actually.
Let's see.
I think we're all out of Force of Wills that we can top into.
I think we cast all of them. Is that a repeal, though? It's kind of sweet. Alright, Tarmogoyf comes in, gets Core Haven again. We're back to attacking. I guess Luis is ahead, so using more time.
Well, that's the explosives.
There's the explosives he was looking for. And
So
for those at home who don't know, the explosives can kind of get around counterbalance. So you can overpay for it by paying the same color mana. So you can just pay like white, blue, and it'll cost 4 or whatever, right? Yeah, he just goes tap 6 for explosives, makes it a bunch of different colors.
7 minutes left in the round, by the way.
7 minutes left in the round.
So,
jeez.
Danny Chan's either gonna.
Seems unlikely that this match is going to finish. Danny Chan's playing for the draw, I would imagine at this point.
Well, yeah, pretty much. It's either a draw or LSV wins.
Wow. Core Haven happens. And he tops.
Those of you just joining us, we're watching a counterbalance mirror match here at Star City Games Open Series Legacy portion in San Jose. I'm Joey Pasco, here with Gavin Verhey and Jerry Mr. T. Thompson.
Hi. Yeah, this match has been absolutely riveting.
I mean, see, for me, this is really exciting
Yeah,
stuff.
it is funny, too.
I'm serious. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but I'm enjoying it.
No, seriously, like, this is really good. Like, this is like a chess match to me. Some people don't enjoy it as much. There, I'll swap that for you, Brian.
I want a bird. Okay, it's cool.
Too bad. We're going to make you talk, Brian.
2 buys, bro.
So,
so Kibbler's back.
What did I miss? Fill me in.
Counterbalance top.
Well, I was here earlier when there was the Elspeth, Tarmogoyf. It looks like the same game because I see that the count hasn't changed, but
yeah, it's still the same game, and things had shifted into LSV's favor, but at this point,
I think it is both difficult for Luis to win and lose this game.
Yeah.
well, how much time is left in the round?
Only about 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah,
4 minutes.
What was he trying to cast?
He just resolved the counterbalance.
No, he's
He's
countertop.
got top. Okay.
What happened to Elspeth?
It got
Did it get
killed,
attacked
and then
away?
the second one got spell pierced.
Huh. Must be nice. Got
The sweet value predict.
yeah. Counterbalance top takes away LSV's counterbalance, trying to assemble the.
Danny actually
the combo.
has to be. He's mostly actually right now playing against the clock because he needs to actually find a way to win quickly enough
to get a draw.
Right.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, I actually. It may be sort of correct for him to play to keep the counterbalance lock here, but at the same time like he has to kill Luis.
Yeah.
before the time runs out. So I think he might need to take some chances, but there's not any there's no points for staying on camera longer. So
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I mean, I get points for that.
Okay.
But that's, it's just a Kibler thing. Kibler points.
Yeah.
Luis has actually fetch landed himself down to 11 life and has fetched out every single land in his deck.
Come on to the main event stage. We're going to get you started.
Is he predicting away his top?
Yeah, he's predicting away his own top.
What? Oh, he has another
Because
top.
he has another one,
Combination of the Seahawks. It is now 28-0 after a Jay Cutler 9-yard scramble.
I think he should have left the counterbalance on top, predicted with the counterbalance. I guess maybe the second top. They give him some additional value, but like that ensures he has a 2 and a 1. This was actually a big problem that I had at Grand Prix Columbus, was actually finishing matches with countertop. It's certainly a deck that has a lot of both difficult decisions as well as just fidgeting. The fact that you have so many different resolutions of individual effects that can be very complicated, and the order you put cards back with top can be super important. And here he just doesn't have a way to win.
Right, but Dolken Shackle's going to do nothing for him.
Playing this type of thing on Magic Online is very interesting and something I like. I usually have more time.
Does he have
than
a
my
fetch land?
opponents.
He definitely needs to fetch here, even if it's is he not fetching? What is he doing?
I don't know what
He's.
there's a. So
I guess he just wants to try and have sort of protection for things, but like he's in a position where he can't do this. Like just working against the clock here, he really needs to.
Can I see his deck list? Because I think
we actually never got his. Oh, I passed them back
Okay.
actually.
I don't think we're supposed to look at their deck.
Yeah, technically
No.
you guys are
Well,
competitors.
yeah,
so
I
you
think he
can't-
only had 2 Elspeths.
To win, period. Is he not a Tarmogoyf? I think I see
No,
tropical.
he has no Tarmogoyfs.
Oh, interesting.
Like his Vendilion is dead. His 2 Elspeths are dead. He has
Does he-
Academy Ruins.
Does he have to like Jace to win now?
Yeah, I'm not sure how many Jaces he has, but
Yeah, I just don't know what he's digging for.
Yeah, I mean, is he in a position where he just needs Luis to make a mistake?
I mean, he's got all kinds of
He has 2 tops now.
defense. But
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't need that right now. Luis is just just sitting there kind of.
I mean,
draw
that
go.
makes me feel particularly strongly about that play that he made earlier, where he didn't play Jace first to sort of solidify the game state, because he really needs to actually be very proactive if his deck is that light win condition.
John Doris, for your standard winner box, please come up to the main event stage. John Doris, to the main event stage for your standard winner box, please.
I mean, he has a number of fetch lands in play.
Yeah.
He clearly just doesn't have anything to do. I mean, I can't think of why he wouldn't be digging otherwise.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It seems like the fetch land play. I mean, he can only do it twice, but it's.
Right, but I mean, he
needs
has
to
get
do it twice,
something.
right? He needs. Otherwise, he just loses.
There's a little Jace. It's an interesting card.
target player draws a card.
Yeah.
Nothing there to counter that, Jace.
Well, there's his Academy Ruins.
What does he have to get back?
He just wants to not get decked.
But I mean, how many cards are left in both players' decks? Because this is not going to end in extra time by they're getting decked.
This is a last call for John
How many cards left in
Doris.
Luis's deck? That's the most important thing.
Well, it doesn't.
It looks like it's pretty short, but
John Doris, please report to the main event stage for your winner box.
Is that the ruins that he just played?
yeah. Well, that was Academy Ruins. So
There's time in the Legacy. Active player,
Yep.
lose your turn, then take 5 additional turns. Once again, Legacy players, that is time. This
Time
is
in the
turn
round.
0 out of 5.
Now they're on
So-
turn 1.
turn 1. I mean, does Luisa actually get decked? That looked like it might have been his last card. Oh no, I can see that camera.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
That camera, you
this
can't
camera
see
you
it.
can't see it, but
So I mean, unless Luis has 1 card left in his deck.
Oh no.
Oh, he does. Oh wow. Oh wow, it actually is. That's crazy.
he maybe now we do know why he was playing this deck.
Yeah, I mean that certainly explains it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Luis was that short on cards.
He used all this. I think all of his fetch lines. Isn't that?
Wow.
and that's why he's.
So
that's one of the reasons he's
there
so
it is.
short. Wow.
So they're going.
It's a draw.
It's a draw.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess we were just sort of discussing the situation.
Yeah. Wow. That's.
All right, I'm out of here.
I think
That
there
was-
were
that
two
was-
cards left in Danny's deck.
It's interesting sort of thinking about that from Luis's position, because if he
could have played a lot slower.
he could have played. I mean, he played quickly enough for that to be able to happen. But he also, if it looked like he was going to get decked, if it was correct for him to